Hi guys, this is Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and my project today is a large twisted box, and I did it a little different. I folded over some of the Designer Series paper, so you got to see two types of paper, and we're using the Festive Post stamp set with the rectangular postage stamp punch. Okay, it's going to be a little bit different than this one because I think I'm going to just move this up a ½ an inch and then it'll be a ½ an inch taller. And we used some gold embossing powder, and again the sheer red ribbon always looks good, and some of the metallic edge ribbon in the vanilla. Okay, so we need a scrap of Whisper White for stamping. We need some old olive that is 2 1/4 by 1 5/8. We need a piece of real red that is 2 inches wide we're going to cut it down after we use the delightful tag topper punch. And this is from the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper, and it is sized 11 by 8 1/2. So, well, 8 1/2 by 11. So you could really do this with cardstock too if you wanted to. But I liked it with the Designer Series paper so that when you flip it back, it has a pretty coordinating pattern. Okay. Just gonna get my Simply Score. And I'm gonna start on the 11-inch side. Okay, and we're gonna score at 2 and 9. Then we're going to rotate it to the 8 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 and at 4 1/2. Okay, now we're going to rotate it all the way back to the other side of the 8 1/2 inch. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to score only to this first horizontal score line. Okay, so we're going to do it at 2 and 6. Okay, that's it. Alrighty. Okay. So this is going to be our bottom, where it has all the smaller score lines here. We have 4 sections plus the little rectangle. You don't have to fold and burnish these, just the ones that go all the way. Okay. And then this one here. Okay. Okay, now we're going to hold it with the skinny rectangle on the right hand side and the paper that you want to show mostly on the other side. Okay, and we have the 4 squares right here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's 1 2 3 4 and then the skinny little rectangle here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out the skinny rectangle that's at the bottom and then just wedge a little right here. Okay, can you see that? All right, and then we're just going to cut out the score lines. Just go as close to each side of the score line as you can so that we take the bulk out if we can. On each of these 4 rectangles. Okay. All right, and this we should have done this way, so I'm just gonna reinforce it this way. Okay, first lay it how with the paper that you want to see the most of face up, and we're going to put some seal here to close this. You could use adhesive too, but I think I'm going to use seal. Yeah, the Stampin' Seal. Okay. Okay. We're just going to fold it over and reinforce it. Okay. Now, we want to wedge out. Let's reinforce this way too, because it's a double up here now. Okay. We want to just take a little wedge out of this too. Okay. All right. Now we want to put our tear and tape all along there. Oops. Pick tool, and I'm going to just take that off. Okay, and then you're going to fold over that piece and bring the other side to meet it. Okay. All right, now that's going to be your bag, and I missed it right there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a little tiny bit of adhesive, because I really want this to fit flush. And I'm just going to make sure that this part stays. I should have made sure I got my tear and tape all the way up there. Okay, there we go. Now, we want this to be the front. So you're just going to squeeze, and we're going to figure out, I mean, it's on a point just like this. This is almost exactly like the small bag we made, but we have the fold over right here. So we'll fold into the flaps, and then we're going to put some tear and tape on these two. Okay. We could have done this before, but I always like to pick after the fact which ones I want, just in case anything's a little off, so I want to put that in the back. So that it's not really right out front and center. Here's my mistake, right? Okay, one more thing here. Okay. And you could put tape on all four if you wanted to. All right, so I'm just going to take the tops off of this tear and tape. And this box is really big enough to put a lot of different gifts in, or a lot of treats. Like a candy bar. We give the logs of marzipan at Christmas time, and that would fit in here just perfectly. Okay, so we're going to put these two, and then which did I say? I wanted this to be the front, so we'll put this one back and just kind of make sure that it's all nice and square, and this one on top of it. Okay, and then I'm just going to open it. I'm going to take pineapple pen from Five Below. I love pens. I have a whole collection of different funny pens. Okay. All right. And there's your bag. And also I'm going to take, I didn't get it right up to the edge there. So all we have to do is just put a little liquid adhesive in. Hold it a second. Okay, and there's our pretty bag. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping. All right, we need some Whisper White, and we're going to use the stripes and the reindeer from the Festive Post stamp set. Alright. First we're going to use Old Olive Stampin' Pad, Old Olive ink, and we get this to stamp off. What we're going to do is we're going to stamp this off, and then we're going to stamp it and hold it a sec, just to make sure whatever's left really transfers nicely. Okay, that's not bad. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our reindeer. Just let this dry a second. And what we're going to do is use our Versamark ink for this and some gold embossing powder. Okay, so we need our Versamark. I need a new Versamark badly. Alright, and what we're going to do is we're going to ink up. Ooh, you know what? I learned this the first time. First we want to cut this out so that we have it exactly where we want it. And there's a nice border of white around the green. Oops. Good. Okay. Alrighty, now that's ready for us. Okay, now we're going to take our little reindeer, or buck, I guess. I'm not sure what that is. He's Rudolph today. And we're just going to stamp him proportional all on the green. I hope. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, right? Alright. Okay, now I'm going to put some gold embossing powder on there. A little much, but we're sure it works. And I'm just going to tap it. Sometimes what I do is I just kind of flick it from the other side. And then just reposition this, because I just got his little hoof. There we go. Fixed. I should really hold it up here where the hoof isn't. Alright, let me just put this to the side for now. Dangerous. Okay. Now I'm just going to heat this. I'll be right back. My plug's all the way over on the other side. And there we have our golden Rudolph. Okay. Now, just let that cool off a minute. And I need our 2-inch wide piece of real red. And I'm going to use the Delightful Tag Topper punch. I'm just going to slide it in there. I always make sure on the other side that it's nicely centered. It's not cocked at all. Okay, there we go. Alright, and now I need my mini cutting tool, which I believe is going to be coming up for sale. I don't think it's on the website yet. Alright, and we're going to cut this down to 3 inches in length. Don't do it before we use the punch, because I think it's about 1/8 of an inch, but I like to cut it afterwards. Okay, now comes our piece of Old Olive that is, what did I say, 1 5/8 by 2 1/4, and we're just going to attach him to there. Alright, so I'm going to use my seal. I'm going to kind of put 3 good strips on here, just simply because it was embossed and sometimes it tends to warp a little bit, so we want to make sure it's nice and tight. Or you could use liquid adhesive also. Okay, I'm just going to use that and frame that out all around. Okay, and then I'm going to use up some of my last dimensionals from that sheet. And I'm just going to put this right there. Okay. Now we want to, I know I did it, but I don't know where I put it now. Here we go. I colored a rhinestone with real red Stampin' Blend, and that'll make him Rudolph. A basic rhinestone, I think I said. All right. Now we need a hole punch, and we're going to punch 2 holes just off center on each side. And I used both real red sheer ribbon and the vanilla metallic edge ribbon. Okay, and it's cut at a point so it makes it a little bit easier to get through the hole. I bend it in half too. Oh, and you're going to want to put your stuff in first so it's nice and filled up. So what I was saying before is we like to give marzipan, and they're pretty long. It's kind of a gold bar. It's flat, and then it has twisties at the end, and there's some other little candies in there too. So this is perfect, or any smallish gift that you want to give, we can put right in there with some tissue paper. Nice little twisted gift bag. And I tried this with just the red or just the white ribbon, and it wasn't quite enough. So I tried them with both, and I think it looks good. I might have to cut this off a little bit. Just going to freshen it up so it's easier to get it through the second hole. Now you don't have to leave them attached because this gets very cumbersome, and I understand. I might have to. Let's see how it goes. Leave the ribbon attached to the roll, I mean. Okay. Now on this one, I threaded him on before I tied the cross knot. So I guess I should do the same thing. Oh, right. So put it on now, duh. Okay. Silly me. We have our pretty little tag, and now he kind of puffs down. Okay. And then let's see how this goes. I can never quite tie him on camera. Strange. I like to get every last bit of ribbon out of my ribbon that I can. Alrighty, there we go. Not too bad. Okay. Really make it tight. Kind of like that. Freshen up these. Alright. I know I'm going to just fuss with this a little longer. I hate it when they go sideways. There we go. Alrighty, now on this one, you see how I made this a little bit smaller, this part that folds over, so then it's a little bit taller too. And I felt like I needed something over here. On this one, I'm not sure if I really do, but I'm gonna put them there. I used the metallic edge, metallic pearls. And I'll just put one in the middle. And then one on each side, and then you don't have to, it's always hard for me at least, to match up the first one to the last one. So if I do the middle one first, it's easier for me. Alright. See, I want to tie this over because I want the bow to kind of go the other way. Alright. I'm sorry, I'm keeping you now. Alright, so then if I want the bow to go the other way, maybe I'll tie this one over this side first. And then, I don't know if that made any difference. Let's see. No, not a bit. Oh, but it's flipping. Alright, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, there you go. Now you see how, and I didn't fill my bag, so I just squished it trying to get the bow in. Let's make it better. There we go. All right. And there you have it. Your Festive Post twisted bags, large. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I do videos 3 times a week, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. And if you would like to buy any of the products that I mentioned today, you can go at the address at the top of the screen. And I will also put my demonstrator number in the comments below if you can't find my website. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you next time. Be well. Bye.